I ordered a new sleeping bag, and here it is, or at least the box that it came in. So the sleeping bag I ordered from moosejaw.com. It is a TO SUMMIT Spark SPII sleeping bag. It's an ultra light bag. It's supposed to be good for 2 degrees Celsius on the low end of a temperature scale. It weighs less than a pound. It's an 850 European Goose down filled bag. It has a quarter length zipper, so instead of a full length zipper just for weight reasons, but it's going to make it a lot more snug to get into. I'm pretty short, so I ordered the regular length, but they do make it in a long length if you're taller. The long length is supposed to accommodate people up to 6'4". The regular length is supposed to accommodate people up to 6 feet tall. Now, because it only has a quarter length zipper, if the temperature gets hot, there's no way to stick your foot out and cool it down or anything like that. So it might limit the ability to use the sleeping bag for some people. But I brought along one of my old sleeping bags just to do a comparison for you as far as size once we get this open. The other sleeping bag that I brought for comparison reasons is a sleeping bag that I've had for a while now. I ordered it from Mountain Warehouse. This is called a Basecamp bag. It's supposed to be good down to 5 degrees Celsius. It's made out of synthetic. It's a lot cheaper. This bag is around $50 to purchase from Mountain Warehouse. I think you can get it even cheaper than that if you can find it on sale. So we'll bring this out and take a look once I open up the box and see, for comparison, what sort of size differences there are. Alright, so I'm going to be as careful as I can to open this, just to make sure that, I'm assuming they packed it pretty good, but I don't really want to cut into this brand new bag and find out that I wrecked it. Also getting a chance to try out this heli knife that I got at the outdoor show this year. They actually didn't have it at the show, so we traveled in town a little bit to pick it up. But really nice knife. Friend Stormzy, he's been on a couple of trips with us. He crafted the handle for me, and I just bought the blank, so nice knife too. So we'll get in here and see what we got. Alright, so this is the package that it came in when I took it out of the box. It's got the TO SUMMIT logos on it. Really nice bag. It says here Spark SPII. It actually says Spark SPII. The other thing, it gives you the ranges here. So 2 degrees Celsius is the low end, and then it gives you negative 12 degrees Celsius in extreme, and it says more of your comfort zone is around 7 degrees Celsius. So we'll be pushing it a little bit on some of our trips for this bag. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to get a liner for it just to expand the range a bit on it if we're taking it on shoulder seasons. The other thing I'm looking at doing is getting an underquilt for the hammock, just so if we're going out on a trip and I look at the forecast and I know it's going to be cold, I'd still rather pack a nice down-filled small bag than a larger synthetic bag. This is also supposed to have some protection if it gets wet. Down traditionally, if it gets wet, it's a real nightmare. This supposedly has a protective coating on it that's supposed to help with some of that. So I'm going to keep it likely in a dry bag as well, other than just the stuff sack. But it's good to know that it does have that just in case you get into some sort of situation, because you never know what's going to be out there. So we'll take a look here. We'll open up to see what's in the bag. Get the box out of the way. I've already pulled out the stuff sack there. They give you a little envelope. We'll take a look at it in a bit and see what that is. A little carabiner, some more descriptions about the bag. It's really cool that it comes with this extra bag though, just to loft it a bit so it's not packed down all the time, super small. Alright, so here's the bag. It's so light. It does feel nice though, and the yellow looks good. The nice thing about the yellow would be that you might be able to use that if you're ever in an emergency situation, just to get spotted a bit easier. And it does snazz it up a little bit compared to just the grayish white color. You will see that it's almost translucent. If I look at that in the light, I can see basically right through it. But that's the idea. It's supposed to be super lightweight. We'll see how comfortable it is when we actually get used to it. And honestly, the zipper is larger than I thought it was going to be. It's more like a half zip, really, which is nice. Gets you a little bit of more room to get in there. And I'm not that big, so should be okay for me. I'm going to go ahead and try and see how well it gets into this stuff sack. It's just crazy to me that this is going to go in there, but see how we do. Alright, I usually stop once it starts to do the worm, but honestly I think once you get used to this you could probably pack it down even smaller. So now we have a good comparison for size. Not the exact same rating. This one is supposed to keep you a bit warmer than this one. Like I said, this one on an extreme temperature is supposed to be 2 degrees Celsius. This one low end temperature is 2 degrees Celsius. It's supposed to be good for extreme temperature of minus 12. But for all intents and purposes, considering that this one actually isn't supposed to be for as warm, considering that this one isn't supposed to be good at as extreme of a temperature, you can see size comparison, no comparison at all really. This one is a baby in size difference. Now, we are talking about roughly, in Canada, about 10 times the price. This one, all in, was pushing close to $500. This one here, like I said, probably less than $50 if you get it on sale. So hopefully here you can see I've got the sleeping bag laying out on the floor. And what you can tell is I said originally that it had a quarter length zipper. But what you can see here when you have it unfolded is that I counted out there's 13 baffles, and it's right in the middle of the 7th baffle that the zipper comes down to. So it's really about a half length zipper, which to me is a lot better than the quarter length zipper I was expecting it to have. The other thing, I don't know if you can see a little bit better on here. I don't think you can, but you can just see that you're able to see through and see the yellow a little bit in the bag. Which I think is going to be okay. I'm going to get in it and try it out and then give you guys an idea of how I think it is for comfort. Obviously, this isn't going to do it justice. It's not testing outside. It's not in the hammock. It's probably going to be uncomfortable, honestly, on the floor. But we'll see how it feels. The TO SUMMIT Spark II sleeping bag. My final thoughts on this bag. I tested it out inside. Now, it's really hard to test out how warm you're going to be in a sleeping bag when you're inside a house that's heated to 20 degrees. But what I will tell you is that as far as size is concerned, one of the biggest things that I saw as a knock on this bag when I was looking into it before making the purchase was that it was too tight for some people. Now, my personal size, I'm around 5'8", and I wear a 38 sports coat when I'm shopping for suits. So that'll give you maybe some people an idea of my size and stature. But when I was laying in that bag, I laid on my side in the bag, I moved around a bit in the bag, and I had more than enough room for what I would need when I'm sleeping. Now, generally I find I'm not somebody that moves around too much when I'm sleeping, especially after I've had a long day of being on the trails and in the canoe. I'm usually pretty tired and I sleep basically passed out. But again, really hard to tell how warm the bag's going to be, and I'm a little bit nervous of that just because it seems so light that it's impossible it could be that warm. I've never used a down bag before, mostly always use synthetic. So I understand the principles of it, but I'm just nervous because I haven't tried it. So the first time I go out, I'll probably pack maybe like some socks and some long underwear to sleep in inside the bag and see how that is, or at least have something in case I'm cold. I might have the liner for it. I might bring a thermal liner just so that I'm feeling a little bit extra confident, just because I don't want to be out in the woods for 4 days and freezing every night and then going on long days when you haven't had a good sleep. So I probably will bring something. I don't think I'm going to need it. I hope I don't need it, but I probably will bring something on the first trip and then use that to gauge future trips. On the specifications, it seems like it's going to work no problem, but it's one of those things where it's better safe than sorry. And now I should have some extra room just because this packs down so small, so it won't be so bad to bring something else. Maybe even an underquilt for the hammock. We'll see. But what I will say is that Sea to Summit has a great looking lineup of stuff. Again, I haven't tried it. This is going to be my first thing, but check them out. It looks like for packability, I didn't see anything else on the market that compares. Now, you're probably going to tell me I'm wrong. There probably is something out there that's comparable, but it just looks like it's a product that's the cutting edge as far as being able to pack something down into a super tiny space. Again, just the comparison of the two, it's night and day as far as how tiny this bag can actually pack down.